episode of the Real Football Talk. I hope all our viewers, especially the Muslim ones, a blessed Ramadan. Adil, how's your Ramadan going?
Yeah, it's going good.
Yeah,
Still getting into the swing of it.
it's
They
not as
never
bad.
change.
It's not as bad as last year. It doesn't. It's not hitting that much. Probably this one slightly. I felt it.
Yeah,
Um,
because now the hours changed, you're
I
feeling
was
it more.
changed, yeah. But yeah,
So,
it's not as bad as last year. But yeah, I mean, going to Taraweeh, coming back, getting ready for the podcast, and all of a sudden we have a breaking news and change all our plans of what we're going to talk about. Antonio Conte has left Spurs with a mutual agreement, or
well,
they call it mutual agreement, but I personally think it's either he got the sack or he wanted to leave anyways after that outburst. I mean, that's what it seemed like from it. But Adi, what's your reaction to it? I mean, it's something we called that's gonna happen, and it seems to have taken
it's,
a week, but it's finally got done.
yeah, it's changed. All it did was change the running order from second to first. So, yeah, they don't really change their plans too much.
We aren't gonna say he got
Diplomatic.
sacked though, isn't it? We aren't gonna talk about him being sacked and replaced by Christian Stellini, his assistant manager, and Ryan Mason being the assistant manager to Stellini.
So Stellini is staying, yeah?
Stellini will be the interim head coach, with Ryan Mason being the assistant coach.
Yes, I think that's the mutual agreement bit is him letting his team stay on a bit. Yeah, I mean, no one's surprised about the conclusion. It was inevitable where it was going. I think it was always, you can tell it was coming down to negotiating down the compensation deal.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, for all the things I like about Conte, this is one side to him that is kind of very hypocritical and goes against everything he says and stands up for in public, which is no matter what, he isn't all for one or one for all when it comes to making sure he gets a good compensation deal. He suddenly becomes very selfish, lets the club go downhill. He never leaves with the team doing well. He
In a good
always makes
place.
sure
In a
they
good place.
crush so
Yeah.
that he gets sacked and he gets a payoff, which is just,
But you know what was interesting? You could pretty much tell it was a done deal when you saw. I don't know if you saw the video that came out of him leaving the UK to Italy in the EasyJet flight. So since then, it was pretty much certain to me in my head that anytime we're gonna hear that Conte's left and they're gonna announce the sacking or mutual agreement or whatever way you like to color it or put it out there to the public. But yeah.
well, his position became untenable. I think the problem is he knew what he was saying. He timed it perfectly. He knew it's an international break. He's already got permission to leave early. He had it all set up. He staged it exactly how he wanted, and I think the biggest problem was he's lost the dressing room, and I
Mhm.
don't think he wanted to come back to that. I don't think he wanted to come back to a dressing room that was openly against or upset with what he said, because no matter what, he's always been renowned for having excellent man management and having keeping good relationship with players, and I think he's kind of burnt his bridges.
With all the
So
players, yeah.
so I think it's more that has allowed it to be neutral in some ways. But let's be honest, if it wasn't for that case, Conte would have held it out until he got a full payment.
Mm.
That's
But
just the way it is. So
it's just a bit surprising. Obviously, his right hand man is still there. Obviously, whilst he had his operation, etc., and he was away at Italy, he did lead the team, but it's still kind of like a bit of the old guard still there. So yeah, it's a weird one to still keep him on. Still thinking that you know what, Ryan Mason and Stellini will do a better job than Conte. So that's where my question more comes to Daniel Levy and his thought process, because obviously they're in a fight for Champions League and it's not they're not there's 10 games left and they're not really leaving themselves in a good position.
but they've kind of done that thing, the Everton way of always having Ryan Mason there to
What?
take over now.
Duncan Ferguson style.
Yeah, yeah, they've got him like in that role always. When he takes over, like he talks a big game and then starts losing, and then he starts blaming everyone else and the record of the previous manager. No, they're gonna struggle to make top four, I think, with them two in charge. Um, but I don't know. There might be a slight bounce back because of the players might want to prove something to Conte. I don't
Mm,
know. That's the only thing that could work for them. But it's obvious every single manager that they may have on their shortlist is currently occupied, taken up,
mm, mm.
and that's why they've gone for this short-term
But
solution.
then, but Adi, it brings to question who would be in that list for Tottenham, because who do they get? They're getting top-notch coaches, and all the coaches seem to have issue with Daniel Levy. So, if you're a top coach and you want to go to Tottenham, you know you're going to have an issue because you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah, so they've tried the proven managers Mourinho and Conte, and it hasn't worked because again the club just doesn't have the winning
Ambition,
mentality
yeah.
and that to match with those type of managers. So I think they are looking. They've learned from that, and I think they are looking for the coach, the head coach type of manager, not the manager who wants to win right now at all
Mm.
costs. So the usual names are there. I mean, Pochettino's there. I think Oliver Glasner. Um, Nagelsmann obviously is the clear favorite, and then you have De Zerbi as well. So
You say De Zerbi, Brighton have come out and said they're not going to let De Zerbi go, even if Tottenham want him and willing to pay ridiculous money. So, Brighton might be thinking they can pip Tottenham to top four.
I think that's the only thing they can do right now because they actually have a realistic chance of. And the thing is, Tottenham's that type of club. They'll probably, even if De Zerbi isn't their number one, they'll probably try negotiations behind the scenes with the agent just to disrupt their chance of getting the top four. That's the type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
maneuver. They've got that Italian mentality, Italian way of even if we don't want to, let's
I don't, I
pretend
don't
that
want, I don't
we're
want
the
to
ones
use the
one.
word that I want to use.
Yeah. So yeah, they are a bit crafty. We know Lee is really,
Being very
knows
nice
how
and
to get
crafty.
get one over people. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the rumors for De Zerbi is being led by Spurs more just to destabilize them. But
Mm.
he is, he is already obviously proven himself to be an exceptional manager. Brighton are doing better than anyone expected. They're excelling under De Zerbi, and yeah, rightly so. I think that's a good list of full managers, and
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
I think the obvious thing is the fact that they've gone to like a caretaker, position means they clearly might Pochettino might not be on that list
That's
because
a
he's
good idea. Because
available.
yeah, because he's available and they can get him. So potentially he's further down the list than what he's made out to be. Obviously all Tottenham fans want Pochettino back. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's the case. I mean, they got Everton come first game back from international duty away at Everton. So it's a big game for them. But this gives a massive, massive lift to all the chasers. For instance, Liverpool, Brighton. You've got who else in there? Newcastle, all a massive chance and boost to get that top four place secured and potentially push Tottenham out.
Yeah, and the thing is, the lead his last two games in charge. I think they drew or lost, or lost and drew, or
I
something
think
like
yeah,
that, or
something like
lost
that.
both.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a great, and you know, they're not going to get much of a bounce from Stanini because he's kind of already had his bounce effect when Conte got
Yeah, but
ill.
as much as he lets the shackles go, but I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference to a team that's already kind of known of him and know how he does things. So I don't think there's gonna be much of an impact, and I don't think Ryan Mason's gonna do anything if I'm being honest.
Nah, I mean, he's going to do that Harry Redknapp thing of, talking up every player, telling them they're all world class. You watch if he does, if he's part of any of the
Interview.
post-match conferences or pre-match, all you're going to see is that Harry Redknapp style positivity. Everyone's the superstar. Everyone's
Mm.
great. I believe in everyone. And then until they
Yeah.
start losing.
I mean, let's move on. I mean, that's something for us to keep an eye on. Let's move
Who
on.
who who, who do you think is the one they're
Who
going to
do I
go?
think they're gonna get? I actually think they're gonna get Julius Nagelsmann. It's a good timing of Bayern Munich sacking him and obviously them getting Tuchel. I think it's a good opportunity for Spurs to go and get him because he's an attacking manager. You know, he'll play that brand of football that Spurs fan want. And he's young and he fits the characteristics of what they're looking for at the moment.
I think Nagelsmann is their first choice, but I don't think that's a good fit. Personally, I don't think it's a good fit because if you look at the reasons why they sacked him, it's because
Mm,
it's too complicated. It's too much strategy. There's too much information. There's too much tactics. Overcomplicates the attacking phase of the game.
mm.
Too demanding. This is a team that couldn't handle the demands of Conte. So I don't know if they can, and I don't know if the players, other than obviously Kane is very intelligent, but
I
I'm not
listen.
sure.
Kane's gone. I think Kane's gonna go.
So I don't think he's going to go in the summer. I think he's going to go first to see the last year of his contract because Birds ain't going to let him go. It's just
Mm.
no, they're not going to attract the caliber of manager.
If Kane's gone, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that team is Kane, you know, and so I just think they'll ride out another year. They'll let him go for free, which would be
Basically, Daniel Levy is gonna do a typical Daniel Levy style negotiation of asking for ridiculous money and barricade and put Kane in jail and stop him from leaving. That's what's gonna happen. But
well. I'll be honest. If ridiculous money comes in, I think he would take it this time.
mm,
It's just whether anyone plays that game or if everyone just stays quiet and let it get to the end, then it'll be interesting to see.
mm. Yeah,
Because also,
let's
Tottenham aren't in a position to give up 100 mil.
no, no, no. Let's keep an eye on that, obviously. But talking of Kane, obviously, broken the record for England's goal scoring with 54 goals, surpassing Wayne Rooney on the way. And obviously scoring another one today against Ukraine. What did you make of before we get to obviously England? Let's just bit about Harry Kane breaking the records again. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think well deserved. He is definitely, the one definite world class player and in England, and definitely, in my opinion, I still think he's the best number nine. He's gone above players like Lewandowski and all them simply because he's maybe younger, a bit more fitter and stronger. But when you see, especially even you see in these two games for England, his all-round game. I mean, he's the playmaker, he's the finisher, he's you know cute, he's clever, knows how to win fouls,
Mm.
constantly putting pressure on the referees, getting decisions. He's all action and he's everywhere on the pitch and yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
it's a great example, Adu. If you look at the first goal from today against Ukraine, Kane picks that out back towards goal, turns, switches it across to Saka. Saka then obviously puts a delicious ball in for him, and Kane's at the end of it finishing off.
yeah, and it's the perfect number, false nine goal where you drop in, you create the space, you spread the play, and then you attack the space you create.
Mm.
Or you ghost in at a time where they didn't really create the space, but he wasn't detectable because he went into midfield. So
The momentum is simply the momentum, isn't it?
yeah, but
That's the key.
obviously no central defender is actually picking him up because they didn't
Mm.
follow him into midfield.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the thing with the false line is either you create space by the defender following you and you attack the space, or you just become undetected by the defenders because they let you go, and then you
Mm.
can go in and they don't know where you are, and
Yeah.
their bearings ain't as good, which is exactly what he did.
I mean, in terms of England, I mean, what do you make of them? Because that's 2 out of 2. They played a tough game away at Naples against Italy, who beat us in the European Championship previously on penalties. And Kane goes and scores a penalty away. We get a good away win, and now obviously against another tough opponent in Ukraine, we beat them. Wasn't the greatest of performance
I was
in
gonna
my
say, I think
listen.
tough opponent. Come on,
It wasn't. Listen, it was a bit of a snooze fest. It was a bit boring until
and
three, 4 minutes off.
Report,
It was
Ukraine report. They're
it was
just a low ball match.
listen. It
They
was three,
just
four
match
minutes of
good
magic,
football,
and that
slow
was it.
tempo.
That was it.
Yeah, Ukraine just came to defend and make friends and probably collect some money for the war, and that's it. And they
Wow.
didn't come to compete.
Well, yeah, but another assist and a great goal for Saka. That's 4 out of 6 in his England internationals. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a double act again, isn't it? It's the Kane and Saka show, and like they showed for the first goal, their understanding seems to be blossoming. And I know Saka. I don't know, like I liked him so much on that left hand side that it's like I don't want to accept that he gets the assists and goals that he does on the right, because it doesn't look great, but he gets the results, he gets goals, he gets it just doesn't look like he does it without any flair. When you think of that left-sided player on the right-hand side, they all like got a bit
I
of flair.
I
He
I I
does it in such a mechanical way, and he does it too good, too efficient.
I disagree. I just think he's just so smart in the way he positions the body and he moves
That's
and it creates space. I think that's what beats it for him. And when you leave him 1-on-1, you know he's taking you on. No matter who you are, you know he's gonna do you. And that's what's so dangerous about it. He finds even for that assist, he finds space in between the left back and the winger, and then obviously is 1-on-1 exposed, and you know what's going to happen. And even for his goal, his back towards goal, his first touch is the one that sucks the defender in, and then it's just gone. It's too quick for you. And then now he's added that last bit of quality of that finish on the left foot.
Yeah, we've said it before in terms of his strength, and he's probably one of the best left-footed players on his right foot in terms
Mm,
of the way he shields and uses his right foot to create space onto his left. He's one of the best I've seen at it. He's so strong up with his back foot and with his body that he always sucks a defender in by taking the ball onto his right foot, which
mm,
most left footers don't do. So you have to give him a lot of credit that his weaker foot, he's so comfortable with taking the first touch with that. And I think that's what bamboozles most defenders, is because everyone takes a touch with their stronger foot.
mm,
He takes it most of the time with his weaker foot, which kind of just positions the
it's
defender the wrong
yeah.
way. And that's the thing with him. He does it all in an efficient way. I mean, he does it without flair, and that's the thing. He'll beat you through intelligence. It doesn't need to have that natural flair, but you can't argue with the impact, the assists, the goals, the results. I mean, he is arguably you could say he's moving on to that world class level because of the consistency.
Mm, mm. Definitely. But in terms of England, obviously, I think they kind of got away with the result in against Italy. We played really well in the first half. Second half, Italy came back at us, but obviously Harry Maguire didn't hold himself in in prime light, giving the goal away. Uh, do you think Southgate is still a problem because of the decision he's making? Because in another game, you're playing players that haven't played is going to cause issues. And Harry Maguire is a prime example, because that game against Italy, we were in control, and then he does stupid passes and causes trouble for his own team.
The thing is, the players are reacting to Southgate backing them, and that's the thing. You saw the performance against Italy was a proper club performance. They held on. They went down to 10 men. They played like it was a club team. The players, even when they celebrate, you can see how close they are. And that's what Southgate is banking on. That's what Southgate is keeping intact, is that close, unity the players have with each other. So I think, yeah, I mean, for all the mistakes and frustration as for us, I mean, what better game is there to bring Tomori and start Tomori into
Yeah.
the squad? Didn't even make the squad, but he plays in Italy every week, plays against these players. He's back on form. I mean, his performance against Spurs in the Champions
But
League,
as
he
it
was
was
the man
also,
of the match. I mean,
yeah.
he was unbelievable in that second leg. So, uh, yeah, it's a missed opportunity, but obviously he's hanging his hat on last hurrah with these players, and he's backing them and trusting them. I always feels like that will eventually backfire.
Listen, the fact that he still gets Dyer into that team, I could not believe Dyer was in the England squad. I don't know what
But
to say.
again, but Dyer is a manager's son. You get it? He's like the manager's son, isn't it? And anything the manager wants, if the manager tells you to speak up in the change room, he'll do it. He'll call someone out. He'll do whatever he thinks the
Oh
manager wants
man.
him to do. And you know, managers obviously like that. They like that blind support that Dyer will always give. So yeah, it's a strange one because eventually I do feel like that team will get stale, but um, they're winning. And the thing I liked about today was Madison played,
Yeah.
which
Well,
I
I mean,
didn't.
I do. Wait. Hold on. It was kind of forced into playing him. Okay. If you look at it, Foden's out because he had to get a his appendix out. Obviously we heard about Rashford. Jack
Yeah,
Grealish played
but
last,
Grealish has been playing.
but
Grealish was the number one there. Like I said, either way, he's played him, which is nice to see because it always felt like Madison was in the squad because of pressure, not really because Southgate rated him. To see him
mm,
start, play, I thought that was good. And
I thought he was decent today as well.
yeah,
Literally,
yeah, him. I thought Bellingham over the two games was exceptional, and Saka. Obviously, Saka and Kane, them two stood out. But today, I thought definitely Madison looked good.
yeah. There are a few moments he could have done better, but obviously it's the
Yeah, he's a
first time
bit
he's
greedy
playing with
today.
playing with all these players, so it's a
But
bit.
it was quite interesting to see, even both games, how much England attacked with slightly more tempo
Mm.
and how much more they were dribbling the ball. That's what surprised me was how much dribbling England did to commit the opposition.
I still want to like even this game. I don't know why, but I still they got 2 games away against very poor sides next. I still want to see a combination of maybe Rashford, Saka, Kane with Foden behind them or something like that, or even a Madison behind them. I want to see that because I just think that's just going to be blistering for the fans for the players. I think they're going to annihilate teams. That's what I want to see with Bellingham and Declan Rice behind them. That's what you want to see.
But we saw a
Not gonna
glimpse
happen.
of that in a couple of the games in the World Cup where the attack was just too devastating, and they had all that pace and power, and it was like chance after chance. It's like
Listen,
there wasn't a good time to play a replay because
you can
it looked like a goal would happen every time.
you can go 2-3 nil up, and then he can do his five at the back with 3 defensive midfielders and put whoever else on. But just do that, man. Just do that,
Yeah, I
please.
mean the other thing that shocked me was Phillips starting. Both games.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, no, today he didn't start. Henderson started today.
okay, but
That's what I thought.
yeah, I mean, especially against Italy, I know
Against
he's
Italy.
barely played, not even making the Man City squad team. Doesn't come
He,
off the bench.
he played more minutes for England than he played for a Man City. So that tells you.
Yeah, but at the moment, it's working. That Club England,
Mentality. Yeah.
Chelsea group, they're playing and they're performing and they're getting the results. So
Mm.
yeah, until the results turn sour, we're gonna have to put up with his dodgy squad selections.
Definitely. Let's move on. Quick touch up on United. I do obviously with their takeover. Any update from your perspective, being a United fan? What do you make of all the second bids going in and so on and so forth, and meetings happening? What's happened? Who do you think is gonna get it and buy the club, or will that impact much in terms of Manchester United and the Premier League?
Um, it's I don't know. I feel like the Qatari bid is the one they want to accept. I just feel like that's the one they want to accept. Maybe the current, the Richard Arnolds and the board, the non, owners, board members, probably wanting the Ratcliffe
Ratcliffe, yeah.
bid. But the way Chelsea got sold, it was kind of always like, but the Todd Bowley one was the favored one. Always, it felt like that. So I'm not sure. I just feel like the same type of thing is going ahead with the Qatari bid. Where just to be feels like that's the favored bid.
Mm. I mean, they've laid out some good plans for it. Basically, even if you look at, they're going to plan to invest in the stadium, reinvest in the training facilities. They're going to invest in the team, both the men's and the women's. They're looking to spend serious money on redeveloping United and structuring the way they do things.
Well, the facts that they're stark to see that United are nowhere near the top clubs anymore in terms of facilities, infrastructure. Their training base is way behind many of the others now. Um, the stadium is really struggling now. It's worn out. You can see it clearly, and yeah, it's they haven't got an excellent corporate facilities compared to
No,
looking at
no.
what other clubs have now. So yeah, I think if there's some an owner willing to do all of that, it makes sense because in reality, United have fallen behind, and it's going to need someone with that level of ambition to make them great again. Otherwise, they will always be a financial powerhouse, but maybe not the most desired because they don't tick the other boxes.
Mm.
And that's the reality of where United are. They have let everyone catch them up, and the only way they can now reassert their dominance,
I need more money.
but actually investing in all
Yeah.
those other areas where everyone has caught up in or overtaken in.
Mm, mm. Who do you
So
want,
yeah,
Nadia? Is the question.
I just want the Glazers out. Someone who's just going to spend the money, like I said, on a new stadium. I'd love it if they just broke it down and done what Tottenham did, brand new stadium from scratch, purpose
Mm.
built, have it multi-purpose. Because the thing is, it's not just about it being a modern football club. It needs to be a stadium that can do multi-event stuff. It needs to be because at the end of the day, Spurs is showing the way. I mean, that stadium doing NFL, they're having concerts, that's the way it needs to be. Yeah, especially in an era where FFP is here to stay
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
You
yeah.
need to show different ways of generating income.
Mm.
So I just think anyone who's willing to put another couple of billion in on creating a stadium and improving the training facilities, that's the one. Don't spend all your billions on buying it.
What Adil is
Save
trying to
save
say,
it for the infrastructure.
what Adil is trying to say, but he's not saying it clearly to our fans, is that he wants the Qataris. Okay, let's
Well,
move on. Let's
that
move
should be the
on.
case. Whoever has the money.
Let's move on to the Premier League preview this week. Obviously, returning after international week, you got Man City against Liverpool. Um, what's your thoughts on that? Fire back straight away. Saturday, 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and
Sorry, it's not morning, afternoon.
yeah, I mean it's obviously the good thing is that recently the England games have always been eating into the time frame the clubs have to train. So they've been doing like every time they're doing it the last windows
Yeah,
of their games, and this is the first time they've done it on the first few windows of each game, which is good because everyone gets back into their club and they get to get proper training and get ready properly. So yeah, it's an exciting game to go back to. It, I don't know if I feel like City are prepared for this.
I
Have been prepared for this
that's what I
running.
was gonna say. I'm just gonna say. I just think you know what. As much as I would love for Liverpool to just turn out for this game, I just think City's just gonna run riot.
No, but I think even in the international weekend, it just feels like they've made sure their players have had a bit more rest, come off, or didn't even go in Haaland's case.
Yeah,
I think Foden injury is a big loss. He's had his appendix
taken
taken
out.
out today, so that's going to be him out for like 2 to 3 weeks
Oh,
potentially.
yeah,
And if you look at the change in the goals and the way City played, that was when Foden started to come back into the team because he stretches the play and runs in behind and he links and creates that extra space for Haaland. So, um, yeah, I mean, that's a shame. I do think that, but definitely an exciting game for to go back, start up again.
what's the prediction I do?
I'm not sure. It depends on the players available. Where's that? Etihad or
They had, yeah.
Etihad? Then yeah, City. I think City
City.
will.
Yeah, I think so
City will.
too. I'd love a draw or a loss, but yeah, it's gonna be a Man City win, unfortunately. The other tie potentially to look at, I mean, Arsenal playing Leeds at home, Newcastle against Manchester United.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think the break came at a good time for United
Mm,
because a lot of those players were just running on empty. Hopefully, obviously it's not good for Casemiro. He's now the captain of Brazil, so I suspect he's starting both games. But um, well, he's suspended, ain't he? So I
yeah.
suppose that probably is a such a bad thing that he's playing minutes over there. But
Any concerns over Rashford? Obviously, he's in New York chilling for a bit, but any concerns with the fake injury or anything?
yeah, I mean, he's definitely primed for Newcastle,
Uh,
ain't he?
his his little finger or something I had.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what you do, though, isn't it? That's what the bigger clubs do. They make sure their best players are available for the big games. So, um, let's be honest. I mean, Rashford probably still would come off the bench, for England. So, I think, yeah, I think it's good news for United that he got a bit of rest. Hopefully, he's available, and yeah, it should be a big game. Where's that? St James Park.
St. James's Park, Sunday.
Yeah. It's a big game, so Alexander Isak's on fire.
Yeah.
It looks like it's fully
You know,
finished
do you
up.
know,
It's going to be a tough game.
I just think it's just gonna be like a 1-0 or something. Someone's gonna nick it. That's what it's gonna be. It just has that feeling for me.
I don't know about the scoreline, but I think it's going to be an open game. Both teams going for it. I think it's going to be the way the game's going to be played is like a classic, as if both teams are going for it. It depends whether who they put the chances away.
Newcastle are gonna go for it, especially being at home and the way they play. Even
And United go for it all the time, as in even if they're not dominating a game, they're looking to score.
counter,
So
yeah,
I have a feeling it's going to come down to the keepers. It's going to be a game for the keepers. Who does better, Pope or De Gea?
yeah. Okay, all right, interesting. Any other ties stand out to you? I do.
No, I mean it's just more. Obviously, just a lot will depend on that Liverpool
And
City
man,
game.
yeah.
Because Leeds are that type of team. They're always unpredictable. You don't know which Leeds is going to turn up.
And,
I
yeah.
mean, no one saw them beating Wolves 4-2. So and that was a very open game. So if they play anywhere like that against Arsenal, they'll get slaughtered.
Yeah. Let's hope they do. But for those of you watching, thank you for watching. But I just want to mention something quickly. There's about 87% of you who have not still subscribed and still watch the show. So please do click that subscribe button for us. It'll help us a lot. And please make sure you like, share, as always. And please do leave your comments and thoughts on what you thought of the international week and what's your prediction for this week coming forward in the Premier League. And Adil, as always, thank you. Have a safe and blessed Ramadan.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.